Welcome to Elevate Springfield, where we will dive into strategies and stories that help you rise to your full potential. Each episode, we'll talk about how you can take intentional steps to elevate your life and your business while making a meaningful impact on those around you. Along the way, we're going to bring in the change makers from our community that are already elevating. We'll bring the actionable strategies, you bring the discipline and follow through, and together we can elevate Springfield.
All right, let's go, Springfield. Time to 10x your life, your business, all of it. Time to crush those goals. Time to get after it. Let's go. You are listening to the Elevate Springfield podcast. Robert Farrell here, certified 10X coach, speaker, and mentor, here to bring you actionable strategies. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together we're going to elevate Springfield. We're coming to you again from beautiful downtown Springfield in the Big Dog Construction Studio. Hey, we've got so much going on in Springfield right now. Make sure you are participating. Get out there, network with folks, be a part of the community, support local businesses, support local nonprofits, and let's go. We can all grow together. So, hey, another great episode for you today. We're going to get right to our guest after the break. Hey, Springfield, when it comes to reliable, high-quality roofing, you don't want to leave things to chance. That's why you should reach out to Acosta Angeli Roofing, your local roofing expert, serving Springfield and surrounding communities. From quick, dependable repairs to full replacement, from residential to commercial, they are your trusted pros. Call them today at 217-993-2748 or visit their website to book your free quote and inspection. Don't wait. A little leak now could lead to major damage later. Trust the local experts, protect your home, and get peace of mind with Acosta Angeli Roofing. All right, and we are back. Joining me in the studio now, Mr. Travis Blaney from Two Men in a Truck, Two Men in a Junk Truck as well. Travis, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you coming down.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, so looking forward to learning about you, learning more about the company, all the good things. So let's start with you. Let's learn a little bit about Travis. Tell us about your background.
Yeah, so I've done everything in sales. I guess I've sold everything. So I grew up in Central Illinois. Went to Illinois State, graduated from Illinois State, and then I moved down to North Carolina for about a decade and loved it down there. My wife and I were too far away from family, so we came back to Illinois. So we've been here back since 2005. So, we've got two homes, I guess, in the South and in here. But business-wise, I've sold everything. I've sold toilet paper. I've sold weather. And now I'm selling moving services. So yeah. So
what town did you grow up in around here?
Villa Grove.
Oh, okay.
So just south of Champaign, that area. Yeah, and my parents still live over there, so get to see them on a regular basis. They're close enough, you can see them. And which is the reason we came home. All of our family was here, so that's the reason we came back to Illinois. And it's important to us to be close to family and to see those things that, the events and stuff that we had to take vacation to go do. Now we're here.
Sure.
So, yeah.
So Champaign, big Illinois fan over there? Or no?
I haven't been a big college sports fan ever.
Me neither, really. I mean, I've gone through phases, but
Yeah. I mean, I grew up watching the line. Of course, when I was a kid, basketball and stuff with Kendall Gill and, those guys, that was always the flying Illini. That was always a fun team to watch, but I never really watched much college sports, quite honestly. So,
okay.
I've been a pro fan of NFL and, baseball. And so, So
awesome. So has your entire career, you've been sales a lot. So has your entire career been sales, like from the get-go?
I got a theory that everyone's in sales. So, so I guess, you know what I mean? So I guess, it's been sales in some sort of, some way or another. Pretty much I've done some kind of sales, it seems like, from either a customer service standpoint or, and then I learned marketing kind of on the fly. So I don't have a marketing degree, but I learned it as I went and really fell in love with that a little bit, where I like that part of it. Of course, marketing changed. It used to just be pictures, which I have an art background too. So so I enjoyed the graphics part of that, your creative part of it. But the now marketing is so digital and you can get the numbers. It's a lot like sales. I mean, you're dealing with numbers a lot more than you used to in the past. So it really kind of starts to mix pretty well, where I got the sales and marketing stuff. I know just enough to be dangerous about marketing.
You said art background. Well,
I wanted to be a cartoonist.
Oh,
I wanted to be a political cartoonist. I thought that was going to be the dream job. And then I got to college and I realized, I'm pretty good at art, but these other people are really good at art.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm not that good. So but I enjoy it, and I still like creative things, and even with the sales, I have to dip into the creative part every once in a while just to
Yeah.
get that itch. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
political cartoonist. That's cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So more like that satire and
yeah,
different
for
thing.
sure. Yeah, so,
Fun,
yeah.
fun. So what was your first job?
Well, living in Central Illinois, it's either walking beans or
Sure.
detasseling. I was too short to detassel because I couldn't, even with the machine, couldn't get up any higher than this, so I couldn't
Right.
reach the tassel. So I wasn't very good at that. But
Yeah.
walking beans, man, I could walk beans all day long. So that was my first job. But my first in a business job was at a grocery store, Elmer's IGA in Villa Grove.
Ah, okay.
My mom and dad have been hard workers their entire life, so I've always seen a good work ethic. So working at the grocery store, I picked that up pretty quick as far as mom and dad weren't going to put up a lot of crap. You know what I mean? So if word got back in the small town that Travis wasn't doing his job at Elmer's IGA, there was something was going to happen at the house.
Sure.
They were going to be a little upset. So I knew that was always the expectation anyway. So just your basic kind of first job, IGA, sweeping floors and stocking shelves. Yeah.
You said a second ago that you have that pretty much everybody's in sales. I agree with that. What do you mean by that though?
Yeah, I actually take it a step further. I think everyone's on commission.
Yeah.
So even if you get a salary, if you don't do your job, you're not making your numbers.
Mhm.
You aren't going to have that jobs. And I've always said I love having 100% commission jobs because then there's no ceiling, right? I can go right at it and and just
Mhm.
I can dig in and go as far as I want. But yeah, I think everyone's in sales because you're always selling either your ideas or selling the fact that you belong in that spot, right? And
Mhm.
you're always kind of justifying is the right word, but kind of justifying that
You are.
I'm needed. You know what I mean? I need to. You need me here, and that's why you're paying me, right? Is because you need me here to make your business run, or So that's what I always think is everyone's always in sales. You're always selling what you do, no matter what it is. So
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot in 10X is everybody's in sales and everything in life is really a commission, right? Like you
Really
said,
is.
even if you're salaried for a company,
Yeah.
your boss picking your idea or moving forward with your proposal is a commission for you, right? It's a
Right.
benefit. It doesn't have to be, hey, I'm getting 20% commission off this deal. Anything, any benefit can be a commission. So I definitely
Sure can.
definitely
Sure can.
agree there.
Yeah.
So is that what drew you to sales, having that commission-based structure, or was it something else?
When I first started, my first out of college type jobs, I mean, what drew me to sales is what it was available,
Mhm.
and I could start working now. Yeah. And so it kind of just, I fell into it. I didn't really think that was what I would do. And then
Mhm.
it even probably took me a few years to realize, I'm actually selling stuff. This is what I do. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I just thought, I'm in customer service, but I'm actually selling things and I'm out there doing that. So then once I kind of embraced that this is what I do and started to own that, then I got better at it because
Uh-huh.
then it was like, well, let's just be really good at this then. So I've got a little bit of competitive nature. It's one of those things of, well, if I'm going to do that, then let's just do it really, really well and be good at it. So
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Well, doing it really, really well, what are some of your main tenets of sales?
Listen.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, listen. And then this is kind of the way I go about even the networking and building relationship. Go into it with how can I help them? You know what I mean? Whatever comes to me will come, but if I'm helping others, that'll come back to me over and over and over. So
Mhm.
yeah.
No doubt about it. Yeah, we talk about in 10X, we talk about give,
Yeah.
give to your clients,
Yep.
give to your networking groups, everything. And then,
Yeah.
eventually that comes back,
Yeah.
back around to
Yeah.
you.
So one thing that I love about 2 Minute Truck, lots of things I love about it, but one of the things that I really love is that we work off the core values. We have core values and they're just not like a pretty poster on the wall.
Mhm.
People know them and we hire based on the core values. We do our daily task based on the core values. If we can't decide if we need to do something, we just bounce it off the core values. And I just love that about, if you can stay focused on those, okay, these are the 3 things that I got to worry about today, and people ask me, like when they come in a job interview and stuff, I say, well, what will make me successful in this job? Do the right thing, do good in the community, make someone's day. That's our core values. If you do those 3 things, then you're successful in this job, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's easy. It's hard to, something we make it hard to make it that simple.
Right.
It really is that simple.
It
Just
is.
do
It
those
is.
3 things.
Mhm.
Everything else falls into place. So yeah, but
And that's great how that gives you, that gives you purpose and direction with your company,
Yeah.
right? With your daily work and how that ties into the purpose and
Yeah.
the core values
yeah.
of the
And I
company.
never have to question whether that was the right answer.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, does it do this?
Yeah.
Does it lead me to these 3
Right.
things?
Right.
Yes, then
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your role at 2 Minute Truck. What's your role there?
Yeah, well, I've been there. This is my 12th year now. I think the first employee at Springfield. And the idea was be the face of 2 Minute Truck and get it off the ground and, let's make it a thing. I started off in sales and marketing, so I ran a small little marketing team and a larger sales team that was all inside customer service based. And over the years, I've had a couple of different titles there. Eventually, we just kind of got tired of changing the title, so now I'm called senior contributor.
Sure.
I'm on the leadership team. I work a lot of the B2B type moves and long-term relationships with businesses that we might work with. And then I have a marketing coordinator that she reports to me kind of. I guess she runs it on her own. She just come to figurehead there, but yeah, she's doing everything. And so I run that department too. And then just pretty much if there's something that needs to be done, and they're like, "Hey, Travis has been here the longest. Have you seen this?" And
right.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to figure something out. Let's contact Travis. Let's do that.
Yeah. And then they're like, "Okay, here's what we can do." So yeah. So the title is so arbitrary, but yeah, it's kind of just, what do you need me to do today? And I'll go do that.
No,
so
I
yeah,
completely understand that.
Yeah.
Places I've been where my title has changed so many times, or have added this slash or that slash to it. I don't know. I'm just Robert. Whatever needs to be done. That's what's needing to be done. That can be my title.
I always tell the young people that start in, and like, okay, what do you think about this, about growing in this position, or what I need to do? And I go, work your way out of that job. From day one, start working your way out of that job and come up with a new job.
Yeah.
You can be in the same company, but you just don't get stagnant where you're right there doing the same thing a lot. To try to learn new things and be a part of the leadership and be a part of making change in the organization and coming up with ideas, because the best ideas very rarely do they come from the leadership.
Right.
They come from the people that are down in the front lines doing the work, you know what I mean, and really hustling. So it's just the leadership that kind of pushes it through. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So what drew you to them in the first place 12 years ago?
Oh man. Well, I was selling radio ads and creating radio ads and stuff, and loved it. And I was like, I'll probably do this forever. This is great.
Here locally?
With it was Midwest Family at the time. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So QLZ and all that group. And, great company. I had a great time there. I really enjoyed it a lot. LinkedIn had popped up this job about they needed a sales manager, and I saw it and I saved it and I didn't do anything with it. And then I got a call from a lady that had worked with me at the radio station previously. She worked somewhere else, and she was chatting up and asking how my job was going and everything. And eventually I was just like, hey, we didn't really have that kind of relationship where we call and chat. And I go, hey, what's the goal here? What are you calling for? Like, what do you actually have?
Right.
She worked for a staffing agency. She said, there's this job that popped up, and I just think you'd be great for it. And I go, what is it? And she said, it's 2-minute truck. And go, oh, well, shoot. I go, I actually just saved that in LinkedIn like a couple of weeks ago, and it's just been sitting there. I wasn't doing anything with it. So I go, well, let's talk. So I went and met with the owners, and immediate was just like, man, these two are great. Like they have a vision, their core values match mine. And I think this would be fantastic. And it was an opportunity to do something that I was probably going to be uncomfortable with, because I never really managed people like that. I was like, well, let's do it. Let's, I can always go back to selling radio ads if I need to,
Sure.
So, and I thought, I'm in a moving company. Who works for, I don't work for a moving company very long. Like, it's 2 or 3 year gig. So, but now I guess I'm here for
a dozen years later.
Yeah.
That's awesome though.
So that, it just was kind of just fell in my lap. It was there, and I thought it'd just be a great opportunity. So,
and you're pretty much there from the beginning of when they started the franchise.
They started, Springfield. So Champaign was already up and running. In Bloomington, Illinois was a satellite office, and then they opened Springfield. I was day one. I was in the door, so I hired a lot of the people that came in there from the beginning. And then we opened Lafayette, Indiana, and we bought a franchise in Bloomington, Indiana. So we have those locations too.
Is that all the locations then?
That's all we have right now. Yeah, we're probably some more expansion coming soon. So we've got some territories we own that we don't have offices in. So so we'll end up putting offices in there. But yeah, it's just constantly growing, new stuff all the time. So
that's awesome. No, you guys have some great brand recognition. Everyone knows 2-minute truck. For only being around, here in Springfield for 12 years, of course, like you said, in Champaign longer than that, but I feel like you guys' brand recognition is really high. Yeah.
Nationally, they do a great job too. And then, you got the whimsical logo. So it's memorable, I guess, the logo. So so that helps with the brand recognition, So I think the bigger thing is that we have a good reputation on our brand. Brands are what the people think of you. So, day to day that can change, if a customer doesn't like you, then that's, they think you're rude and, irresponsible, then that's your brand for that customer. So, but I think nationwide, we have a good reputation, which is fantastic. And it's kind of easy to keep that, just do those right things, and, and keep that brand up. So, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now, so over the 12 years that you've been there, what are some of the things that you've done to solidify that brand or to drive that into the community?
Yeah. It is just always adhering to quality and value. We're not necessarily always going to be a low price option. Like, we want to be value. I mean, we want to add value to your move and to the things that we do, the services that we provide. And I think just staying the course with that and just making sure that every move you're going out and doing the right thing, and you're doing those extra things that customer wants you to do. There are shortcuts that you can take in the moving industry that'll make it quicker, but it won't necessarily make it better. And I think that's what every industry is the same thing. Just because there's a shortcut doesn't mean that's the way to, that isn't the way to run it. But I think the biggest thing is not necessarily changes. It's more of just keeping that steady course of doing the right thing and making sure that your every move is done correctly.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Now, you talked about price, might not be the cheapest price out there, but price is only an issue in the absence of value, right?
It is.
You guys are providing a great service, a valuable service, so price is what it is.
Yeah. When we get 5-star Google reviews, price is very rarely mentioned. And when we get a 1-star Google review, it's very rarely mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's usually communication or something else happened. Very rarely is it, oh, that was the wrong price. They might pile on price later on as an issue.
Yeah, as an afterthought type of thing.
But that's because something else was done wrong. So,
right.
Yeah.
So, what are all the services that you guys offer? I mean, when you think of movers, just house to house, but what are what are all the things you guys do?
Yeah. On the residential side, we do pretty much from front to end, but we do the packing. We can do junk removal. We do the moves. We do the unpacking if you need us to. We're getting ready to, we got a new building over on Hamlin Parkway that is actually, the remodeling's already started. So I just was in there yesterday. So, we're going to have storage. So we can do some receiving and storage and stuff. So yeah. And then on the B2B side, what I'm looking to do is to grow that even more. We're going to start offering really a full service of B2B. So from the beginning to the end, really like a consulting of how do you move your business. So instead of having, your employees try to figure out how to execute a move, just let us come execute. You know what I mean? So from the beginning, we'll set up the schedule for you. And, when your IT department should come out and do what they need to do, and just really put all that together in one big package so that you don't have to really do a whole lot. We can do all that. So that's,
I think that'll be a phenomenal line. I mean, have you guys done much of that in the past, or is this a brand new thing for you?
So we've done it, but it hasn't been packaged as,
sure,
this is how we're going to sell this, or, how we're going to make this into a package so a B2B can understand it. It's going to be this is going to be that first introduction of, let me show you what all this looks like. We've been doing it, but it's just kind of scattered. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, we do that. Yeah, we do that. I can do that. I can take care of that. But to make it a little more cohesive and easy to understand is going to be the goal here, I guess, to put all that into an actual package. So
a huge benefit to businesses as they're growing and expanding. To have you guys walk beside them as they're moving and everything. That's great.
Yeah, and I think there's lots of opportunities to add additional services to that. Little things that you don't think, like the cubicle disassembly, which we outsource now. We learn how to do that. We can do that kind of thing. Even like some of the storage and stuff that we do now, like especially like with the new warehouse, if you don't have the warehouse space, we could bring in stuff. So we could receive things in, we could actually inspect it, repackage it, and then do the final mile delivery for you so that you don't even have to worry about that, because there's lots of businesses that do that. If you got custom cabinets or you're an interior designer, those types of things, those are great ways for us to utilize that space and to be able to help another company do what they need to do more efficiently. So, and it doesn't require them to have large buildings. Yeah.
So when's the warehouse in the new space?
They
scheduled to be open?
They say April.
Okay.
So yeah. So, and I was actually surprised they were already in there. Like I said, all the framing's kind of done inside for the office spaces, and I was like, oh, that's pretty good. I didn't know they were even going to start that quick. So
sure.
Yeah. So that was kind of neat to see yesterday. But we'll see how quick they get through all that. So
very cool. Yeah. No, at the last Land of Lincoln professional networking meeting, you had this contractor that's doing the work for you there. He was talking about, well, you got a project with 2 men in the truck. Like, hey, there you go.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So,
Creasy.
Yeah. He was talking about that.
He's great.
So phenomenal.
He actually helped us tear down our current building is the old Chase Bank. And so they had the drive-through windows and all that. So they actually helped us tear the whole drive-through thing down.
Okay.
So which is nice.
So what drew you to that location in the first place? Just curious.
The Chase Bank one?
Yeah.
We needed more space for truck parking, and that had the right amount of space. We had pretty good office space, but we needed more room for like dispatch and our operations for our movers and drivers to have their own space. So, and then this new space now will allow us to actually have a training area for them. So they can practice doing moves on stairs and things like that. We're going to be able to set that up where they can do some of that training and stuff in-house before. Yeah. So
that'd be nice to have.
Yeah. So the new movers can go in there and make mistakes. We always want them to make the mistakes on us.
Exactly. No doubt about it. You mentioned like the full service stuff. What are some of the other options that people could utilize you for?
Yeah. So long distance moves, we still do those. We do local, and we do internal moves. So even if like simple things like right now, especially if you're taking your Christmas decorations back to storage,
Sure.
pick it up, we'll take it back to storage for you. Those are typical things we do. We've done single item moves, a lot of single item moves. We had the shortest move we ever did was 5 foot. We picked a plant up from outside and brought it right inside to the sunroom, and then
Really?
in the spring we brought it back out. So yeah,
a real heavy plant.
It was like a 210-pound tree. She couldn't pick it up.
Well, yeah.
So we just come out, pick it up, move 5 foot.
That works.
Yeah, it's the moving and the packing and the storage and in junk removal, of course, we have the full junk removal. We can do the dumpster rentals. Those are fairly new offerings for us because they're only a couple years.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. When did the junk truck side come in, and what all do you guys do there?
That was in 24. It took us a little bit to get that really off the ground. It was new to 2 Men and Truck overall. It was new to us, so we're trying to figure a few things like, all right, how do you make money doing this, and what do we need to do to manage it, and how's it run? We have a really good GM now that we were missing, and that's helped us, to kind of organize that and keep it going. So having the right people in the right spot was one of the things we needed to figure out first. And so that took us a little longer than we expected to do, but now that we got that going, it's starting to run pretty well. So
do you do you do like clean outs with that too? Like if the house is, not lived in anymore, just needs to go get completely cleaned out?
Yeah. So. Businesses and houses, apartments, those types of clean outs. We can come out and do all that. Even like simple things like carpet removal or something like that. We'd come out and remove the carpet and roll it up. Yeah. And throw it away. We try to do as much landfill diversion as possible. So anything that we get, we're looking to either donate it, recycle, upcycle type of thing. But so anything we can do to keep it out of the landfill, we try to, but some stuff ends up there. So we've done a couple of garage sales. Some of the items we collected, it's amazing the stuff that people will call junk. Like I've got a rowing machine in my gym at home, and I'm like, this is junk. I go, the monitor thing still works, everything works.
I'm on it. Yeah.
This is awesome. I go, I've wanted one of these rowing machines forever. And it folds right up and sits against the wall. I'm like, this is perfect. I go, someone called this junk. I go, so it's in my gym. So whoever threw that away, thank you.
Exactly. No, I think sometimes people just get sick of seeing stuff at their house or something and consider it junk at that point. Like, hey, come scoop all this stuff up.
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
Yeah. So we'll collect a lot of those things. And if we can't donate them or whatever. And then we actually have had a garage sale, what we do for charity. And so we don't put any prices on it. People come in and just pay us what they want, and they come get the stuff. And then we've donated some stuff to Fifth Street and Renaissance. They work with veterans that are needing assistance, and we've helped furnish some of their apartments and stuff with stuff that we found, that they said was junk.
Right. But it's perfectly usable, perfectly good stuff.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. It is crazy how one man's junk really can be another man's good stuff.
For sure. So, yeah.
So what was the impetus to starting that line, the junk truck line? Just saw an opportunity or fit in nicely with what you guys already do? Yeah,
it ties in really well with the moving service, because even with the moving service, like, I've got this other stuff I don't know what to do with. Can you throw it in a dumpster? And it's like, well, not really. Like exactly. You can't just go to a random dumpster and throw stuff in. So but I can bring a dumpster if I have one. And so then that's really what did it, I guess, is that it just was a good tie-in. Yeah, another revenue source that you might be able to take advantage of if people are already asking for it. And like, let's offer it. So
that's the biggest part, having those parallel lines, right? To where you're really solving your clients' problems that they're having. You're already solving one problem, and another one pops up, and you can solve that one too.
Exactly.
So that's huge. You said you're big into marketing. You like the marketing side. How important is social media to your personal branding, but also, of course, the company branding?
All awareness is important. I think just being there, especially in our business. I mean, if we offered free moves, you wouldn't take advantage of it unless you're moving. You know what I mean? So it's not we're going to prompt you where someone offers you a free car. You're like, I don't need the car, but I'll take a car. Yeah. So I think just being there, awareness is huge. But the social media part of it is big, just because it can target a little bit exactly who we want to hit. Which is nice. It's not a big net. You can make it, as small as you want. I think it also is important because some of the messaging, like I said, with our core values, is important to keep that stream, that line connected between what we're doing and what we're saying, and putting it all together in that line. So that helps to tie all that in, I think, because social media is important for that. So
no doubt about it. I know one of the ways you guys market, you guys work closely with the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes.
Yeah, I love Jamie and the team.
Oh, they're awesome, aren't they?
They're so great. Yeah. it's important for businesses to have partners like that. People that you could trust and work with and get it. We both get each other. Like, oh, I know what you're trying to accomplish. Let me help you do that. And he's the same way. Oh, let me help you do that. You know what I mean? And I know if I call, like, Jamie's going to be like, yeah, let's do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I have a few of those, types of people that are partners like that I just know that they've got my back. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's huge for businesses to have those relationships that you can just build on and work with. So
not about it. They're doing some great things for the community. I mean, their growth they've had over just this last year alone in terms of adding a couple more teams and the women's league coming here now, and then getting the stadium, under the Friends of Robin Roberts and everything. That's huge.
It is huge.
Great.
And what makes it successful is the fact that I think we all understand their why, and we get behind it. And baseball is secondary to all the other stuff they're doing. Like and Jamie even said, baseball is the platform.
Right.
It's not the reason. And we all get that. You know what I mean? I think we can see that, and you can see that they're involved in the community right away. You know what I mean? And doing things in the community and being a part of it. And we have a lot of the shop locals and stuff. I see your Springfield First and things like that. And one of the things I always say is that all of that is great, but what makes it really great is that it's more than just an address in that zip code.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's you're actually out doing those things, and actually out being a part of that community and helping make it succeed. So
no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned their why is so strong, that purpose, and it's been that. I remember it's probably been 4 years ago now that when I first started talking to Jamie, that why was that why back then, and it still drove through to where they are now, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, he hasn't changed it, and he hasn't broken free from that.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to stick with it. So
yeah. Now, I go to a lot of the games over the summer. They do the 2 minute a truck little game that they have in between innings. Where the kids run and throw stuff into the box. Jamie come up with that, or was that a you thing?
That was me. I actually we did that back when the sliders were there too.
Oh, okay,
so
gotcha.
So we've been doing that. Now, Jamie and I have come up with some really great ideas, and then people with calmer heads have said, no, that probably won't work, or it's not safe. So,
sure.
We like that one. And then our 2 minute junk, we actually sponsor the trash cans, and they do an 8th inning cleanup. So instead of a 7th inning, they do a 7th inning stretch, but in addition, they do the 8th inning junk cleanup. So that's part of one of the things we do. But the other part of what Jamie does great is, and again, this is having partners that you can trust and work the social media part of it. I mean, we're being called out on his social media all the time with different stuff, going on,
right.
Which is great. And that's huge. And again, that's just, the social media has made it so easy to network too, right? I can network with any company right away instantly by sharing stuff. And I think that's huge, advantage to everybody to be able to just bounce those things back and forth and run those partnerships that way too. So, yeah.
No doubt about it. So how do you feel like you guys elevate your clients or elevate the client experience?
Yeah, it's do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it, which seems simple, but a lot of people fail at that, right? So
right.
I think that's huge. The other part of that is that we know that moving's stressful. In this industry, like a move is usually going to be tied around something that's another life event. So a divorce, a death, a job change, those types of things that are already stressful, and now you've added another stress factor of I got to pick everything up and take it somewhere else. It can be pretty emotional, right? I mean, and especially like someone downsizing is incredibly stressful. If you've been in a house for 40 years and you think you're going to pack that house up in the weekend, you're not. You know what I mean? And you shouldn't. Like, you should take the time to go through each room and go through each box and take that time to even cry and go through those things and say, okay, this is a tough thing, right? This is a memory. We've enjoyed that. I need to put that away, and now I need to move on to the next thing and move through those rooms.
Right.
But that doesn't happen in a weekend. That's that time-consuming thing. And what we see a lot of, which is hard, is that you see people like, oh, we're going to move next week, and we've just started that process, and we've been in this house 40 years. Like, ooh, that's going to be rough. Yeah,
rough.
Yeah. You're gonna have a hard time with that. So yeah. So, but I think to elevate that experience is to understand that's where they're coming from, right? We don't want to pile onto that. Like, we want to eliminate the stress. We want to make it as stress-free and even enjoyable at times as we can. And we've gotten quite a few reviews where they're like, man, we were dreading moving, but that was kind of fun. You know what I mean? Like, that worked out really well. And I was like, cool.
Because that is one of the things people are just like, man, they just dread moving.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't want to do. Just dread moving.
No.
No, you said at the beginning of your thought there, it's the little things of being there when you're supposed to be there and all that. And we had Robbie Matthews on last week from Air Masters, and he said something similar. He said we can get caught up in the financials and the metrics, and sometimes we just, hey, how quick was I able to come and get your furnace fixed and get your house back to a comfortable, comfortable temperature? Stuff like that. Just those little things, those simple things matter a lot to people, and that can really elevate the client experience.
Yeah. And the way you show up at the door, do you smile, what do you look like when you show up? Do you, are you glad to be there too? Or you're like, oh, I work for a moving company, or I work for a heating and air company,
Yeah, no, that's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Enjoy what you do. You know what I mean? If you don't, do something different.
Yeah, exactly. So how do you guys source some of those folks, source some of those movers and all your employees?
Yeah. It's hiring through those core values. So when we're doing interview questions and talking to them, I mean, we're talking about what does do the right thing mean to you? What does do good in the community? What does make someone's day? What does that mean? How does that look to you on a day-to-day basis? And honestly, I mean, we've lost some good people because they just didn't get the core value. They didn't understand. I mean, great people. I mean, they weren't mean or, they just didn't get that piece. You know what I mean? And that's okay. Like, it's better for them not to try to force themselves into an organization that they don't agree with the core values or don't get it. And it's not great for us to have them. So, but when we hire, I mean, we're hiring for that and we're talking about it all the time. So, I mean, that's really the biggest piece to making sure that we have the right people in the right seats. And yeah.
So I see a lot at Land of Lincoln Professional Networking Group. What are some of the other associations or community groups that you're involved in?
Yeah, I'm in a couple different chambers, the Chatham Chamber and the Springfield Chamber. I'm actually in chambers in other states too. So
Sure.
And then, of course, the Land of Lincoln, we have a group called the 3 o'clock Club that was invented for people it was people that could leave at 3 o'clock and not get in trouble was basically the outline for it. And so we meet once a month, we do that. And then, I just have I have a network of people that a lot of times I'll just, hey, let's get together and do this. I'm also a big believer in the best way to network is do it when you're doing something that you enjoy, right? And so I like to golf. Mm-hmm. So I'm in golf leagues and I use that as networking. You know what I mean?
No doubt about it.
I'm wearing 2-minute truck gear when I'm out there representing the company. And even like when I go play platform tennis, I'm representing the company at that time. So I'm always networking, I guess. I don't feel like I'm on 24 hours a day, but I'm really on 24 hours a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the way we are.
And people think I own 2-minute truck here, which is really what the owners wanted from me, is to be the face of the organization here, but I don't own it. I mean, I don't even really run the franchise here. And I'm kind of in the leadership and an advisory role to help them succeed.
But you are out and about so much that you are the face of it.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. So if I do something stupid, well, sorry, that's a 2-minute truck did that.
Right. So you said you're in some that are even not in this state. So are you very involved in those, or just need to be part of the group?
Yeah, I mean, the one in Lafayette, Indiana, I'm involved in more than the other ones. Like when I go back to Lafayette, I go like once a month. I'll go over there and I try to go to a chamber event there. So they know me pretty well now. The GM that's over there, they know him too because he's involved in it more than I am. But yeah, they don't think I own it over there, but they definitely know who I am. And
sure.
Yeah. So.
Now, you mentioned platform tennis. That's the first time I had never heard of platform tennis. Yeah. So that's pretty cool, though. I mean,
yeah, it's interesting because it's on a pickleball size court. It's played like with tennis rules, but there is a screen that goes around, like a chicken wire screen that goes around the court, and you can actually play it off the screen. So it's a little faster pace than pickleball. The ball is real rubbery and bouncy, so it comes at you a little faster and and harder and stuff. And they play it all winter. So the platform is raised. It has a heater underneath it. Uh-huh. So if you get snow or ice and stuff on there, it'll melt it off. And it won't really warm you up. I mean, your activity is going to warm you up.
At least you can still play.
But you can play, yeah. And it's so you might have seen me if you're out at Washington Park at the tennis courts. The little courts back there aren't actually pickleball courts back in the back. Those are platform tennis.
All right.
And it's the only platform tennis court between Chicago and St. Louis. So
really,
yeah, they're
only one.
Yeah, the sport is really big, I guess, on the East Coast and it's limited here. The great thing about the platform tennis guys is they want people to play. Like, it's not very elitist. Like, they're very like, oh, please come play, and and you're terrible, and we will show you how to play. Please come, and so it's very inviting to go out and play and do those things and with those guys. One of the few places I've ever been that was like, oh my gosh, they're so inviting. They really want people. Right. They really want the sport to take off. And I go, you got 4 courts in the whole state. They're just into it and just inviting, and just you come out and play and you will be welcomed like from day one. So they'll give you all the stuff you need to play and show you how to do it. And yeah, so the best from the best player to the worst player, they all seem to just embrace that. We want people. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
What drew you to that in the first place? What made you find it, I guess?
I hate winter and I hate being inside. So I needed something to be outside. Right. Yep. And I'm getting older. So some of the things mountain biking and things like that aren't really going to work for me anymore. So I'm not good at falling. So, I was just looking for something to do out there. And one day I was out there and I saw my son was playing tennis out there and I saw him playing and I just started asking, what is this? Like, what are you guys doing? And he goes, well, grab a paddle. I'll show you. And I'm like, okay, I'm just asking, like, but now I'm playing. And so that's kind of how I got into it. It was just asking about what it was when I saw them, and I was like, that's pretty fun. So I started going to some drills and learning how to play, and then I've been playing league the last 2 years. I'm always looking for something to compete against. So
Very
yeah.
cool. Anything else you do personally to help elevate your life?
Yeah, I get involved in different charity stuff. I like working for people in need and helping them get to what they need. I did 8 or 9 years. I did a golf outing for breast cancer awareness. Created a golf outing. It was every hole had different rules, and you come out and it wasn't a serious golf outing by any means. Everything was fun, and it was kind of a I almost called it like a an escape room on a golf course. Is kind of what, like, how do I get out of this? You know what I mean? Or how do I use this? So I've done that. Last year was I decided not to do it. I go, I think it's run its course, and I kind of burned out on it, so I stopped doing that. Then I started working with Fifth Street Renaissance. They have a camp out for homeless veterans, and so I was a co-chair this year with that, working with that group and trying to help organize that, and I'll do that again next year. So do some stuff at church, church groups and things like that. But I like to find things like that where I can be helpful and do the things that I do well and see who needs it. How can I offer what I can do to help you? So
on the golf outing that you had, what's an example of one of like the odd rules that you had on one of the one of the holes?
Yeah. So we had we had string where you could instead of putt you could string it out and cut the strings and sale. So I sold everything. Like I sold the ball washers. Like you could sponsor the ball washers. But we had a sign out in front, and if you teed off and you hit the ball through the sign, you could move up to 5 yards from the green and chip from there. There was like different rules like that. You could kick it, you could throw it. We had we did $1 million hole-in-one prize. We did $5,000 putt. There's just different stuff on different holes. Yeah, so there was always different little things. And but I mean, we raised money over the 8 years, maybe $60,000 or something for American Cancer. So it was great. We had a great time.
Anything next on tap for 2 Men in a Truck, or for you personally?
Getting into the new building is one of our goals. The group that owns 2 Men in a Truck, we're working on some new revenue things that we're wanting to put in place, and I've been charged with how do we make this a thing? So kind of the same conversation that they had, day one from Springfield 2 Men in a Truck. So how do you make this a thing? And so we're working on that. Some of those little things that we're working on. But yeah, I've got some stuff cooking. I can't really say, but yeah. But yeah, I think getting moved into the new building is going to open up a lot of stuff for us and a whole bunch of new opportunities that we haven't been able to take advantage of here. That I know we've taken advantage of in the other markets. So it's an easy transition to go to. So I'm excited about getting into the new building. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
What are you most proud of in your career in sales?
Every day I feel like I do something good. I feel like I'm like, oh, that was a good day. Even the bad days is like, you look back, that was a good day. I did my thing. Then this isn't necessarily a sales thing. I've always wanted to push people to be their best, to help them, grow and to be better that day than the day before and the next day, and just keep getting better. And I've had a couple of employees that have worked for us that no longer work for us that are out doing other things, but that was their dream, right? And they've come back to me and said, I couldn't have done that without you teaching me how to do those things. You know what I mean? And so
that's an awesome feeling, isn't it?
That's a great feeling. I enjoy that part of it, I guess, is pushing people forward, and helping them and to grow and do those things. So, and when I get those things, it feels great. They're like, oh, perfect. That's what I was hoping to happen. So,
well, I mean, like you mentioned earlier, grow yourself out of your position. And sometimes that means they're leaving the company and do something that they love, but that's good because
awesome.
you've trained them to be able to do that. You've given them the motivation or the drive or the discipline or the tools, whatever necessary to be able to go out and do that.
Yeah.
So
And I just I love doing that. That's probably my favorite part of going to work. So.
Awesome. Well, Travis, so much great stuff today. I like to close with these last couple of things. Let's give the audience a piece of advice, one on the personal side, one on the professional side, to help them elevate their life or business.
Personal side, it's okay to laugh, right? Don't take everything so serious. Enjoy the moments and the stuff around you. It'll work out. Professional, do the right thing. I love that. I mean, I've said it a couple times already, but it's important. It's so easy,
right?
And it means something different to everybody, right? But if you walk away, and even if the outcome wasn't what you wanted, if you did the right thing, then you did the right thing, and that's okay. Yeah. I just think that's huge. Get up early. That's another thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
I love getting up early.
Completely agree.
Now, don't call me after 3:00, but
sure. Heck yeah, no, that's one of my definite things. In the morning, I've got a pretty strict morning routine. Get up at 5 every morning. Make sure I get all my stuff in before I head off to the day.
Yeah, and don't stop. I mean, don't stop learning. Yeah, I think you just always learn something new. And I think I don't know, that's one thing, but there's a few things.
A lot of good things.
A lot of good
things.
Like it,
yeah. Well, is there anything we can do community-wide to help all of us here elevate Springfield and the surrounding communities?
Yeah, help each other. Let's pull each other up. And especially small businesses, like what can you do to, even if you're not getting paid for it, what can you do to help? Like, what can you do to be a part of the community as far as just being engaged and being available, when they need you, and just help? I think just be there. So, yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Travis, if somebody's wanting to do some business with you guys, where would they go to learn more about you or Two Men in a Truck?
They can go to twomeninatruck.com and find everything you need there. You can find me on LinkedIn if you want to look at my personal LinkedIn page. See some more great stuff, maybe.
Easy enough. Yeah. Well, appreciate you coming down and spending some time with me today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for inviting me. So it was fun. Yeah,
no doubt about it. Good stuff. Well, we're going to let Travis get back to elevating Springfield, but for the rest of y'all, we'll be right back.
Looking for expert tree care with hometown integrity? Look no further than Sangamon Tree Service. They're your trusted local pros, delivering quality workmanship, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing every time. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, their team brings professionalism and care to every job, big or small. Call the name your neighbors trust, Sangamon Tree Service, or visit them today at sangamontreeservice.com. Sangamon Tree Service, rooted in quality, built on trust.
All right, come on, Travis, great stuff. This is the part of the episode where we would typically talk about what we discussed with our guest through a 10X lens. However, if you've been paying attention to Elevate Springfield over the last few days, you realize we've got a few new drops every single week. We're going to a daily drop schedule. So on Saturdays now, we're calling that segment Separation Saturdays. That's where we're going to do a recap from the week from our guests and talk about what we discussed through a 10X lens, with some additional trainings to help you separate yourself from everyone else out there. While they are relaxing on a Saturday, you're still grinding. A lot of great things coming from Elevate Springfield in 26. Excited to grow with y'all. Before we go any further, though, I would like to thank our friends over at Acosta Angeli Roofing, your local neighborhood roofing experts. Whether you need a small repair to a full replacement, residential or commercial, give them a shout. The entire team over at Acosta Angeli, Juan, Zach, Tony, phenomenal people, phenomenal company, and they will take care of you. So as I mentioned, we do have a full 7-day drop scheduled this year. We are going to have a brand new episode of Elevate Springfield every single day, so you can start your morning with us, and we certainly hope you do that. So quick recap of our new segments this year. So today is Monday. We're going to keep that the same, so it's going to be your original interviews like we've done with Elevate Springfield from the beginning. On Tuesdays, I'm going to drop that tomorrow. It's still going to be a surprise. I'm excited about that one. I'm going to have a co-host for this segment. You'll find out tomorrow what Tuesdays are going to be all about. On Wednesdays, we'll continue our Communities Grow Together segment. On Thursdays, another original interview like we do on Mondays. On Fridays, we're going to have the Wellness Upgrade. We're moving that segment from Saturday to Friday. Then on Saturdays, as I mentioned, we're having Separation Saturdays, additional trainings and a recap from the week through a 10X lens to help you separate yourself from everyone else. And then on Sundays, we're calling it Your Weekly Battle Plan. Hey, we all know that time is our most valuable asset. It's the only thing we can't get back, right? So we're going to talk about ways to control time, to create time, and then things that I would recommend you put on your daily battle plan and your weekly battle plan to help you elevate. Along the way, we're going to have people coming in that'll talk about events that'll be going on that week and in coming weeks, again, to help you elevate your life personally and professionally. On those days as well, I'm going to encourage and task you with a number of things throughout the week that I hope you put on those daily and weekly battle plans. So thank you, everyone, for all your support through 25 of Elevate Springfield. I am excited for all these new segments and have these daily drops to help impact more people in Springfield and ultimately help elevate Springfield, y'all. Be right back after the break.
When I first walked into Shudokan Karate Club, I was just looking for a way to get stronger, but what I found was so much more. Here we train in traditional karate, the real stuff, passed down through generations. Every punch, every kata has purpose. I've learned self-discipline, confidence, and how to protect myself. Not just in class, but in real life. It's not about being aggressive, it's about being prepared. This is more than a club, it's a way of life. Join us at Shudokan, traditional, powerful, real. Ki-ai!
Well, thank you for joining us today, everybody. Appreciate you making us a part of your day. Hey, don't forget, while you're out on social, check ours out. You can check my personal one out at Robert Farrell, at everywhere. Check out those Elevate Springfield pages, those Big Dog Business Coaching pages as well. Check us out over on YouTube. Give us a subscribe, give us a like or a follow on any of those channels. We would certainly appreciate it. So hey, take what you learned today. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together, that's right, y'all, we're going to elevate Springfield. Be great.
Looking for personalized insurance with hometown care? David Hilst, American Family Insurance Agent, is here to help you protect what matters most: your family, your home, and your dreams. Whether it's auto, home, life, business, David and his team are proud to serve the Springfield community with trusted advice and reliable coverage. Local service, real relationships, peace of mind. Call today or stop by their office. They can build your dream protection plan together. Call 217-726-6343